Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to find out the rationale of the research study from the previous published research articles. So, if we look into these aspects, if we look for these aspects in our previous research articles, we can master in writing the rationale of the research study, and you know that how important the rationale of research to get published our research paper or to get to get accepted for granting of our research proposal. So coming to this research article, so the title of the research article is transcriptomic analysis reveals the potential mechanisms of toxicity in combined exposure to dibutyl phthalate and disobetyl phthalate in zebrafish ovary. So basically, the title says here that no, the authors they want to study the combined effect of the two toxins on zebrafish ovary. They want to find out the toxicity of these two components in the zebrafish ovary, then how they want to study the toxicity or the combined toxicity here is uh, by performing the transcriptomic analysis. Then how to organize or how to structure the introduction part for such a title. As you know all that in our previous video, I explained how to write the introduction part. So the introduction must have minimum three paragraphs, and the first paragraph, for every paragraph, you must have a topic sentence. And from this title, you can find out two topic sentences. The first one is the dibutyl phthalate and also the another toxin that is disobetyl phthalate. So these two toxins, you can write a paragraph over these two toxins in the first paragraph. So in the first paragraph, you would have to start with a general statement of these toxins, and from general you have to go to the specific. Okay, so that is the approach you have to follow. That inverted pyramid, you have to start with very general statement, and then you have to start making the specific statements about the stock scans. Okay, the second one there, you can explain about the toxicity aspect of these chemicals. So the first one in the first paragraph itself, you can explain the toxicity. So the second, there you could explain in the literature how this uh, talks can have effect with respect to the geographies. Any previous studies with respect to the toxicity of uh, this I mean to say this category of the toxicant. So first, let's see the introduction part. There you can see the first paragraph, which is completely they have written very general information. There you can see uh, this phthalate esters. They written that phthalate esters are artificial multifunctional chemicals which are used in variety of industries. So that is a very general statements they made here. Then they written that no PAs can leach from. So they explained how these phthalate esters they leach from the place of the manufacturing of some components to the environmental to the environment. See next, the fate. Once they reach into the environment, what uh, the fate of these toxins, so that they return. So this is also a very general statement. See also they explained that see these phthalate esters. Uh, these phthalate esters have some toxicity effect in fish. So they did not mention any what the fish, but they mentioned that it has a toxicity effect, especially they disrupt the endocrine pathway of the fish. So this explains no that no this no tally testers have very thalate esters have very risk for the aquatic organisms. So they have very they have that means aquatic organisms have risk with this thalate esters. But very interestingly, see in thalate esters we can find so many types of chemicals. But these two are very important. So they written very specifically in the second paragraph about this butyl phthalate DBP and another one diisobutyl phthalate DABP. So these are the primary PAE pollutants. So there may be so many, but these two are primary toxicants in this category they mentioned. So also they mentioned how much the concentration range that are that is seen in the environment with respect to these two chemicals. See, they're talking about they're looking into the literature review. You know that in rational, the first one is the literature review. So in their literature review, we look into the aspects of this particular things. I mean to say that no, this particular two toxicants and what are the studies with respect to these. So there also we could start from the general to specific. So in the general, they mentioned what are the concentrations of these and all. See, and effects also, if we see that no effects, no nobody have reported the effect of these two chemicals or these two toxicants. So when you look into the literature, see the first paragraph is completely about the general information of the phthalate esters. In the second, they started talking about these two particular chemicals. So then in there also they started with again the general information, and they're narrowing down their research their focus. So that means that their interest is to know the toxicity combined toxicity effect of these two chemicals only. And when they have done the literature review, so in the literature review um, they have not found any study which focused on the combined toxicity of these two chemicals. So that means that becomes their research gap. So all this second paragraph, which is about completely the literature review of this particular two chemicals, and in the first paragraph, the literature review is about the basic information of this category, this no this family of the chemicals. Okay, got it. See, in the last sentence, they clearly mentioned that although these chemicals have been widely and frequently used, knowledge of their toxicity is still limited. So when they have done the literature review, so they did not find any study that found the effects of these toxicants on the aquatic organisms. Okay, so this is the information that is very crucial here. See, some places, no, sometimes you can see. So they mentioned that no, some with respect to the geographies, they mentioned how this DBP has effect. What are the studies that have done on the DBP in the DBP? So there are few studies which actually focused on these geographies, and see none of these studies targeted, or none of these studies tried or attempted to know the effect of these DBPs or DBPs with respect to the toxicity, combined toxicity, or combined toxicity at molecular level. See, there are studies. These studies they focused on only. See here you can see the peroxisome proliferation in the liver, and the other one you can see that no that DBP exposure could disrupt sex hormones balance. But None of these studies identified how what is the mechanism, or how these things got disturbed, or how these things were dysregulated in this particular condition. So the molecular mechanisms are not well understood. That is very clear how how that no hormone mechanism gets stabilized, or how the some other research findings that they claimed have molecular basis. So it indicates that no. So from the literature review, they looked into the this DBPs and IBPs. So when they looked into this DBPs and IBPs, so uh, see, the knowledge is very limited. That means a few studies they worked on this one, but these studies also reported some effects on the organisms, but no study has focused on the molecular mechanisms of this particular toxic in the presence of this particular two toxic kinds. Okay, so so their aim is to know the combined effect of these two, and how they could cause damage to the ovaries of the zebrafish, focusing on the molecular mechanisms. So they want to know what are the molecular changes that happens during the combined exposure to these chemicals in the fish. Okay, so that is the whole idea here. So from this though also they have hypothesis and all. So in the rationale, what is important here? See, first the literature, and the second one is the research gap, and the third one is the significance of the study. So the first thing is that no, from the literature. So when they have done the literature survey, so they have found that a few studies have focused on the biological effects of these toxicants, and the knowledge of this is very limited. The knowledge of this is very limited, and see, when they saw the literature, so no study focused on the molecular changes that takes place during exposure to these two chemicals. So this is the research gap. So this is the research gap. So they had done the literature survey, and from the literature survey, they have found the research gap. And what is the significance of this work? So the research gap explains the justification why they want to perform this transcriptomic analysis, because the previous studies they have not done any transcriptomic analysis. That is the research gap. So the research gap explains the justification for the study. And what is the significance of this study? See, the significance of the study, coming to this one. See, what is the significance? So the molecular mechanisms, the studying of the molecular events, molecular mechanisms in the presence of these two chemicals will unveils the toxicant effect, the combined toxicants effect in a zebrafish. So that unveils the molecule. What are the molecular mechanisms that takes place in the exposure of these two drugs together? Okay, so that will enhance our knowledge of understanding the effect of these two drugs on reproductive system, particularly at the molecular level. That is the significance of the study. See, this is how you have to find out the research rationale. See, you have to look into the literature review, then you have to find out the research gap, what has not been reported or what has not been done in the previous studies, and the third one is the significance of the study. So this is these are things that you have to look into the introduction part, and after that you have to write also the aim, what is the aim of your study, and what is your hypothesis, and you can also write the methodology. Also here also you can see the transcriptomic sequence is a highly sensitive and accurate method for quantifying known and novel transcript isoforms. So that means they're mentioning the methodology or the experiments that what kind of experiments they are performed in this research paper. So that means you can write the methodology, your aim, your hypothesis. Also, you can report your findings. Also, this one. Okay. See, from here you can see the obtained information provides a new understanding. So this is the significance. This is the significance of the study. See, the new information is being provided by this article. That's why. So it has three things. That means it has the literature review, it has the research gap, and it has the significance of this study. So these three are important elements of the rational. So you follow the same procedure, a similar procedure, and work on the other research articles to find out these three things. So that will enhance your understanding of the research articles and understanding of the research. Thank you.